Hi, this is Tobias, Germany. Killing and destroying of inventors and inventions like Stanley Meyer is normal. Hard and brutal words when you see great inventions, what they could mean for mankind and all the people behind. But I will prove my words and show where we have our chance and why we always win on the long run. After being in the field of personal development for 30 years and spiritual growth for 15, I'd like to share just some simple ideas with you today. I found some techniques to get a broader perspective in order to make complicated simple. Therefore, you just have to find analogy of complex and sort of holographic matter in nature. So as to become laser sharp, let's first see that in any field you have an upper level which can be experienced. This is called chunk in the NLP world, for example. When you see the whole HHO scene, the whole over unity scene, the scene of words, of religion, and the political scene, the scene of spiritual development, or the pharmacological scene, you might see this as examples. They have all some things in common. There have been inventors and inventions all the way. You will find that their inventions have been put under the carpet and destroyed, put away for ages. Lots of inventors have been murdered for the last 100 years, and even much longer, like from burning so-called witches. That effect has been so and will be so if we don't see what's behind all this, if we don't find a way to understand and put safety precautions. So from the fact that all is equal, it's easy to follow by a little experiment. You just put aside all your moral standards and thinking of good and bad. So try to disassociate all this from mankind. How can we do so? This is pretty easy and being done by science all the time. There are so many factors that we have to stand aside and see it all. This only works from distance. The bigger the distance, the easier. For example, we see capacitors, resistors, wire, a circuit. Now let's travel some meters away. This can be in a sort of analogy and physical, as well as we see later on. We only see a sort of black box. Everything gets reduced to its function, because by its function we can see what might be in the black box. So something happens. Just plain black box thinking. A black box is a device in which something happens and we look what's coming in and what's going out. Take a simple indication light on a car. A special relay will be fed by the power of the battery. We could see battery wires going in. As an output, there's a switching pulse of that power. It will lead to a bulb. The bulb is going on and off in a certain time, and we will there see a signal sound. So now, how can we establish the black box character? Inventors being killed, inventors being destroyed, hide and put aside. When Nikola Tesla was doing his inventions and telling his financier JP Morgan about it, Morgan said something like, "That's something what you have invented, but where can I put my meter?" He just wanted to sell energy. So what's all the fuss about black box here? Everything can be seen as a system. For example, JP Morgan selling energy as a salesperson was one. The system he was up to protect itself. As you can see, it is the questions above. In his questions above. I first heard system thinking from a guy named Frederick Vester by reading a German book, Neuland des Denkens, 1975 released. So 1974 released something like New Property of Thinking. It is about learning the educational system and how this is interrelated in the chaos theory. He is an expert of thinking in systems and taking the big perspective. As physics has ground rules like the thermodynamic, people give themselves ground rules like laws. Systems have ground rules as well. The power of that can be easily found in nature. Every mass has a tendency to keep in the matter it has been before. Take a stone, for example a milestone wheel running down a hill, very heavy type. Nothing will stop it. It will break everything trying so. This happens in every system. Systems like the global financial system as a man-made one, or systems by nature like water masses in a waterfall pouring down, having lots of energy. A system always protects itself and turns down anything which tries to stop it. So an inventor in the world wants to stop a system, and any system will destroy in order to protect its being. So the protectors in a political scene are the secret services of the world, for example. They will definitely destroy anything which puts danger on the system to protect. As to see plain and easy, you're going with your car on a straight line. This is a system. Every time you want to turn to one side, the system wants to protect itself and will try to make you drive a straight line instead of a curve. So you are going 100 miles an hour as your system with a car. Stopping will the system try to protect from. So you really have to brake for some time. The brake gets hot and it's really something to get it stopped going. Another system is a system in every aspect. All the systems are sort of holographic. It is a network of systems because they are interrelated and they're always combined with each other. And you cannot change a thing without changing everything at a spot. So imagine I would event 1000 liters HHO from half an ampere, let's say. So not much energy flowing. So this would be easy for me to produce on board a car or whatever. So no matter if this is being possible or will be possible anytime, just as an experiment to sort of brain gym. Imagine I would put a car on this. Everyone would want one. So imagine I would do this in a mass production of these cars. This would be an equal for going 100 miles an hour and braking or turning a curve from a straight line. This would definitely put lots of systems under pressure, and they would protect themselves. The mineral oil industry, the car builders, networks of the world, the government, via loss of taxes, the whole networks in and around producing, selling and using gas. So it would influence the people in the shop even. You see, could be followed till Adam and Eve, I guess, this scenario. As a result, lots of systems would jump in self-protection mode in a matter of seconds. So they had to put me aside on one way or the other. By doing some testing myself in the field of HHO and over Unity, I came to a very easy scenario. As long as there's no over Unity effect, like with the idea of the 1000 liters HHO per minute or so, with very little what's going on, someone's there is no real danger for the system of the world. So, because self-protection is all systems embedded as an immanent feature, like the life-saving system called Life Protect Oneself. For the HHO idea, what does it mean? If we are on the wrong path, we are safe, like systems which really need lots of amps to produce the HHO. This will never be an onboard system. This will never be a threat to the mineral oil society and all this related with it. So we can experience as long as we want. This is so with HHO from lots of watts, as I said. So in 100 years we will not come to a point with this idea to establish onboard systems. We just cannot generate lots of watts on board with this type of system. So we can never use water as fuel with this technique. Meyer, for example, and some other guys went other ways. So they tried to stop a milestone going down a hill. But how can nature grow and prosper when systems called life would be static? There are absolutely no static systems. They can't, and so death as a sort of new starting point comes in place. So time always plays for us. From a point of quantum physics or even religious and spiritual matter, as embedded in life, every product of the brain will lead to another. So nothing will be lost. So by inventing first in the brain and then on matter, we lift up consciousness of the planet. It grounds us as humans and helps the world make a better place. That is my core belief. When you want to invent faster, what are the ingredients necessary? That's easy. It's just a short life circle and a high rate of inventions. That provides change to a higher level. And it will spin the wheel even faster if we have an effect and fast exchange of ideas worldwide. This happens by the tendency of mankind pulling alike people and inventing systems to share as the internet. So as YouTube as well. So every and all of us are inventors just by testing what is possible and what not. As some spiritual masters say, the internet is now a holy place. Why it is so can be seen on the system of YouTube. We can share our testings and ideas very fast and easy. There's one more thing to keep in mind. A system, like any system, gets stronger and has more protective force the more a mass energy is involved. In the community here on YouTube, for example, the more active members it has, the more members testing and finding out. So, what's the result then? The indication sort of indirect measurement of any system is its behavior. They're referred here as consciousness. We all simply lift the mass consciousness, what is possible and what not. So when, for example, Scarecrow brings up a motor to run with 10 to 15 liters HHO without stopping, it definitely changes mass consciousness, as what Meyer or Lawton or Ravi or whoever did in the past. Or if you go to a phenomenon like Uri Geller, people see and listen, and no matter if it's fake or real, it will increase what we allow us to think. And because the thinking process leads in action, it will change the world. So my conclusion to our HHO scene, it will change the world via mass consciousness, no matter if we reach the point of itself runners or not. If mass consciousness rises with it, which is another role in life, called in the film The Secret, for example, it will lead to a different teaching in the universities, schools, at home, wherever, since it becomes brain property to us all. That the mass will do work, and we will come to a place where this change will lead in action and will lead in a complete changed, better world. Take care, love to the divine, whatever this might be for you. Tobias, Germany, over and out.